It's 2:17 a.m. You're lying there in the dim glow of your phone, scrolling, swiping, watching videos about productivity hacks you'll never try. Your brain feels like it's coated in a fine layer of static. Not loud, not painful, but heavy. And here's the part you never think about. The weight you feel isn't just from the big decisions. It's not just the deadlines, the bills, or that conversation you've been avoiding. It's the perfectly normal things you do. The ones you'd never suspect, quietly loading your mental hard drive until the whole system lags. Habit 1. Starting the day with a mental buffet. You wake up, grab your phone, and suddenly you're deciding which news headline to click, which message to reply to first, whether that email can wait, whether you should skip breakfast or make something healthy. Before you've even gotten out of bed, you've made 20 micro decisions. And the problem with decisions, even tiny, seemingly harmless ones, is that they all draw from the same limited well of mental energy. Psychologists call it decision fatigue. It's the reason you can breeze through choices in the morning, but feel paralyzed by what to eat for dinner. By starting your day with a mental buffet, you've spent your freshest energy on the least important choices. And yet, you keep doing it. Because it's normal. Habit 2. Overfeeding your brain with innocent content. You tell yourself that quick scroll through Instagram is harmless. Just a bit of dopamine before the day starts. But here's the catch. Your brain doesn't just passively see things. It processes, categorizes, compares, and reacts, even if you're not consciously aware of it. A photo of your friend's vacation sparks subtle envy. A news update makes you tense. A relatable meme cements a small belief about your life. This stream of micro-emotions adds to your cognitive load. You're not resting. You're running mental errands in the background. By the time you need focus, your brain's been multitasking for hours. Habit 3. Treating every ping like an emergency. Somewhere along the way, you taught your brain that every notification is urgent. You've wired yourself to check instantly, respond immediately, clear the red dot as if your survival depends on it. It doesn't, but try telling that to the part of your brain still convinced that novelty equals danger. Every time you switch tasks to check a notification, you pay a re-entry fee when you return to your original focus. It's called attention residue. And it's why your thoughts feel scattered long after the interruption. The cost isn't the time you spent checking. It's the mental reset your brain has to perform afterwards. Habit 4. Saying yes before you've thought it through on the surface. Saying yes is harmless. Helpful even. But every yes you hand out is a silent agreement to allocate your future time and energy, both of which are limited. When the deadline arrives, you find yourself resentful, wondering why you ever agreed. But at the moment you said yes, you weren't thinking about that. You were thinking about avoiding discomfort, avoiding the awkward pause, avoiding the guilt of turning someone down. You're not overloaded because you can't manage your time. You're overloaded because you keep auctioning off your future bandwidth without realizing it. Habit 5. Letting small choices linger in your head. Here's something you don't hear enough. Unfinished decisions are just as draining as finished ones. That, should I buy this thing? That, should I reply now or later? That, should I switch jobs? Every time you postpone a choice, you don't delete it. You just leave it running in the background, slowly eating memory. This is why you can feel mentally tired even when you've done nothing all day. Your brain's been juggling open loops, each one pulling a fraction of your focus. Habit 6. Confusing being informed with being prepared. You think staying on top of every update will make you more in control. But here's the dark twist. Your brain treats incoming information as something it needs to act on, even when it can't. That article on economic collapse, those live tweets about someone else's argument, that health threat about a rare disease, they all generate mental to-dos you can't complete. And because your brain hates unfinished business, it keeps pinging you about them in the background. It's like constantly opening tabs you'll never close. Habit 7. over-personalizing everything. This one's subtle. Someone doesn't reply for hours. You start wondering what you did wrong. Your coworker seems quiet. Maybe they're upset with you. It's exhausting. Not because these thoughts are intense, but because they're constant. Your brain's threat detection system, the same one that kept your ancestors alive, is now busy scanning social cues like they're predators. Most of the time, the danger isn't real, but the mental toll is. The real problem, none of these feel like problems. That's why they work so well. You'd never call them bad habits. They're normal, everyday actions. Everyone does them. And that's exactly why they're dangerous. Because you'll never suspect they're the reason you feel this low-level hum of exhaustion all the time. You'll blame it on lack of sleep or work stress or just getting older. But your brain is like any other system. Constant low-level strain will wear it down faster than occasional bursts of effort. Imagine your brain like a phone battery. You think it dies because of the big moments, the heavy apps, the long calls, the demanding tasks. But really, it's the dozens of small, unnoticeable processes running all day that drain it before you even realize. And every time you normalize these habits, you give those processes permission to keep running. The truth is, your mind isn't built for constant engagement. It's built for cycles, focus, then rest, intake, then reflection, action, then stillness. But in modern life, this is no stillness. The moment there's a gap, you fill it. Standing in line, scroll, commercial break, check your messages, walking to the kitchen, cue up a podcast. It feels efficient, but what you're actually doing is robbing your brain of its idle time, the space where it clears mental clutter, sorts memories, and recharges creative thinking. Without it, you stay in a low-grade state of mental inflammation. Not enough to shut you down completely, but enough to keep you from feeling truly clear. Habit 8. Turning rest into another task. Here's a tricky one. You tell yourself you're going to relax, but it's never real rest. You make a to-do list for self-care, read a chapter, do some yoga, listen to a podcast, meditate for 10 minutes. Individually, they're fine. Together, they become another performance checklist, a way to do rest right. And because you've turned downtime into a productivity project, your brain doesn't register it as rest. It registers it as more input to process, more metrics to meet, more boxes to tick. Rest that's measured stops being rest. Habit 9. Constantly optimizing everything you're about to make dinner. But instead of just cooking, you're comparing recipes, tracking macros, timing each step for maximum efficiency. You're turning a basic human act into a strategic operation. Optimization feels smart, it gives you control. But it also demands decision after decision, evaluation after evaluation. And when you're always in optimize mode, your brain never gets to coast on autopilot. Some things aren't meant to be maximized. Some things are just meant to be done. Habit 10. Living in anticipation instead of the moment. It's not just what you're doing that's draining. It's what you're expecting. You're mentally pre-living every possible outcome of that meeting tomorrow. You're rehearsing conversations that may never happen. You're calculating the best way to spend next weekend. You're spending mental energy on moments that haven't even arrived yet. And when they finally do, you're too tired to enjoy them. Why you can't feel the load until it's too late. The mind is good at adapting. You can live with a low battery for weeks, months, even years, as long as it never fully shuts down. But that adaptation comes at a price. You stop noticing how heavy the load is because it's always been there. It's like walking with a pebble in your shoe. At first, it's annoying. Then you get used to it, and eventually you forget it's even there. Until one day, you stop and realize you've been limping the whole time. That's how mental overload works. By the time you realize how much these small habits are costing you, the cost has already been paid. So here's the quiet truth. You can't eliminate all of these habits. Some are woven into daily life too deeply. but you can make them conscious. You can notice when you're making a micro decision that doesn't matter. You can delay checking that notification until you've finished your thought. You can let a moment just be, without documenting, optimizing, or predicting it. And slowly, you'll start to feel something you haven't felt in a long time. Space. The mental kind. The kind that isn't filled before you even notice it's there. You don't need a total life overhaul. You just need to reclaim enough mental room to breathe. Because when your brain stops running on constant overload, the static starts to clear. You think sharper. You feel lighter. And maybe most importantly, you finally have enough energy left for yourself. Don't forget to hit subscribe and ring the bell. You won't want to miss what's coming next.